Hi everyone. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you've probably noticed that I've been a little bit more consistent recently. I've decided to give art one more year and see where I can take this channel. I personally don't enjoy certain parts of the process, but I think that I might have to challenge myself to go outside of my comfort zone, especially when it comes to voiceovers. Sometimes I feel like I overcomplicate things, and maybe sometimes I don't always have a long, elaborate story to tell with my art. But I'm going to try and talk more about my process and my inspiration. In this drawing, I'm just doing a simple portrait with pencil and colored pencil, and I'm doing this drawing in a handmade sketchbook, which I made out of some recycled materials and some mixed media paper. I also really like music, but I'm not as experienced with music as I am with art. And sometimes I wonder, do I focus on art, which I have more experience with, or do I try to work on something that I have a little bit less experience with, but feels a little bit more exciting and has that sense of novelty? When I was younger, my main goal was to be a comic book artist or some type of storyteller in some way. I read a lot of manga at the time, and I would try practicing drawing people and objects and just practicing how to lay out a story and make it flow together. And I realize now that storytelling can still be part of my art in some way. I think what's motivating me to look at my childhood dreams is that I feel like I've kind of drifted away from my main goals, and I've kind of lost sight of what I really want to do when it comes to not only art, but also hobbies and careers. My goal was not to be a realism painter. I've always liked when people stylize their art and put their own spin on things and not just draw them as they are. This is part of the reason why I don't really enjoy hyperrealism that much, personally. And I also don't want to do only one kind of art. I really enjoy drawing, painting, and doing crafts, so I hope to incorporate more of a variety on my channel. And I also want to explore more topics for my voiceovers. I'm not really a teacher when it comes to art. I can give tips and advice and share what I've learned over the years, but I also want to talk about things that I'm passionate about that somehow relate to art, or maybe don't relate at all. Things like my other hobbies, or books I'm reading, or how my past experiences have shaped my art and my journey with art. I'm excited for 2026, and I hope that you'll stick around and join me on my art journey wherever it leads.